Alexander Alligator. Alexander Alligator wears a happy grin, starting at his ear holes and reaching to his chin. When Alexander Alligator was just a baby, he was only as long as your daddy's hand. He looked like a little lizard, but he grew much larger. Now he is as long as your bed. He's not very tall, but he certainly is long. Alexander Alligator hatched from a small white egg. God gave Alexander a very good mother. Mrs. Alligator used her nose as a shovel to dig and scrape leaves, twigs, mud, and plants into a big pile to make a nest. Then she laid her eggs in it and covered them up with more mud. She stayed nearby to guard her nest from enemies who might want to have alligator eggs for breakfast. Mrs. Alligator waited many weeks while her babies grew inside their eggs. One day, she heard her babies grunt and squeak. She hurried to her nest and uncovered the eggs. Alexander Alligator and his 40 brothers and sisters were ready to hatch. Mrs. Alligator worked very carefully to help Alexander get out of his egg, and she gently carried him to the water for his first swim. She didn't carry him in her hands or on her back. She carried him in her mouth. Alexander and his 40 brothers and sisters swam behind their mother, trying to be just like her. Mrs. Alligator guarded her babies and kept them safe until they were big enough to take care of themselves. How would you like to follow Alexander Alligator around for a day? If you did, you'd have to wear your tallest boots. Because Alexander lives in a swamp. In a swamp, the ground is muddy and squishy, and there is a lot of water. Alexander loves to be in the water. God gave him a strong tail to help him swim. Let's watch Alexander go swimming. His whole body slides under the water, except for a few bumps that show on top of the water. Does Alexander breathe underwater like a fish? No. Those bumps we see are his eyes and nostrils, or nose. He can see and breathe, but we can't see him very well. Can you see with your eyes closed? Alexander Alligator can. God gave Alexander 2 sets of eyelids. He can close his outer eyelids just as you can. He uses his other eyelids as swimming goggles to see underwater. Alexander Alligator also has flaps of skin that covers his ears when he swims. Look! Alexander is getting out of the water. It's easy to follow him now because his legs are very short and he keeps stopping to rest on his belly. He isn't wearing boots, but his feet are webbed like a duck's to help him walk on the soft, squishy ground. Alexander has claws, too, for climbing where it is slippery. Alexander Alligator has many, many teeth. Some of his top teeth still show when he shuts his mouth. Sometimes Alexander Alligator talks to other alligators. He can hiss and grunt and make a noise that sounds like a frog croaking. When he wants to be really loud, Alexander Alligator can roar like a lion. Alexander Alligator likes to bask in the sun on cool mornings. That means he lies very still and lets the sunshine warm up his body. On hot afternoons, he goes into the water to cool off. When he's really hot, he sits in a pool of water with his mouth open. God covered Alexander Alligator's body with hard scales to protect his skin. His smooth belly is light yellow, and his bumpy back is dark green or black. Where does Alexander Alligator live? In swamps, water, or mud? How did Alexander Alligator's mother carry her babies to the water? In her mouth. Why does Alexander Alligator like to sit in the sun? He wants to get warm.